Map, rations, yeah, I think that's everything. Satisfied with unpacking, I hurried down the stairs just as Mum was rereading the letter of recommendation she'd finished. Do we get to read it, or will it be shrouded in mystery? All prepared? I sure am. How's the letter? I just show it to the Argent Valir Guild, right? I'm gonna get there, and they're gonna be like, you'll need to prove yourself, right there. The Argent Valir Guide was one of the most prestigious orders in Ishtera. It consisted of knights who served the Sun and Moon Council and also did non-military work. Oliver was the central hub for all of their activity. Mum had been part of the guild all her life, so her name was well known among the younger generation of knights. She doesn't look that young. She looks like she slept with half of them. Right, as long as a former knight recommends you, it shouldn't be too hard to earn the rank. Hopefully they don't change any of the requirements. You can't say that! Oh, well, I hope they didn't change any of the requirements. Lol. Like, that will happen, though. Like, fucking hell, it's the story. I know how this shit works. Oh, Christ. Oh, Christ. I have a kind of Red Bull. I just went to try and gulp it quickly. I almost choked. Ugh. Shan't be doing that again. For those questioning, I never drink Red Bull. It's just I'm staying up late tonight for something, so I need a little bit of a boost. Excited, I snatched up the letter and quickly skimmed the beginning. I, Lady Andrine of Bayard, former captain of the Guard, Turco Pollier of the 3rd Cavalry Line of... Mum, your titles and credentials are longer than the actual recommendation, but I guess it helps since I've been trained under you. I better be fucking good. I returned the letter so she could officially seal it, then promptly tucked it into my bag, making sure it wouldn't get crinkled. We're not even going to read it all, we're just going to hope it's good. Wonderful plan. The Merchant Ventures carriage should be ready. They already know the escortment arrangements, and your father is making sure the boys don't get into too much trouble. What do you mean too much trouble? Whatever. I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyway, let's get going. You're going to see your daughter off on her grand adventure after all. I eagerly rushed out of the door, not wanting to make the others wait any longer. Is she not following? Wait, Aura. I halted and pivoted, noting the cautious tone in her voice. Yes? She sighed and folded her arms. Well, originally I was going to cancel this whole arrangement. Huh? Why? The merchant was rather vague about the contents he was carrying. I usually like to confirm everything with my own eyes, since it's not just for their safety, but also mine and that of the other escorts. I highly doubt the package will contain monsters or anything sinister. Are you sure you're not overreacting? I mean, this is your daughter getting involved. She paused and mulled over my suggestion carefully. True, it may just be my overprotectiveness. This is the first time my daughter will go off on her own after all. She nodded, mostly to herself, and I accepted her agreement. Right, thanks for organising everything, now come on. Okay, so they're going to get to Barry and they're going to reject us. And I'm going to have no other choice but to go to the dragons and prove myself. Okay, so you got that tied up. But the merchant is also going to be carrying something which is going to put us in supreme danger. It sounds ideal already, I must say. As expected, Dad, Kerr and Ilmari were at the edge of Berry, with the carriage stationed on the main road. It's very nice art. Very, 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 very pretty. Very pretty. Oh, that there looks a bit... Alright, I'll take that back about that there. I mean, like... It looks like I'm colourblind. Kerr was pacing while Ilmari was chatting happily with my dad. The coachman waved to acknowledge us, and I approached the open window of the vehicle. A middle-aged man sat amongst silks and pillows, which suggested I was protecting a wealthy merchant. Mr. Ormond, was it? I'm Aurelie. My companions and I will be escorting you to Oliver. I assure you we're trained and you'll get there unharmed, and the others are well versed in magic. I was pretty confident about that assumption, at least. This is going to go terribly. He nodded, and I was unsure if he was nervous or just reserved. Thank you. Shall we set off straight away? Of course, it's no problem. I glanced down and saw an ornate box. It was long and narrow, and I tried to fathom what was so important that they need to hire protection. Maybe it was a sword? I wanted to ask about the contents, but decided against it. My priority was getting to Oliver, the quicker the better. I would have asked. Why would you not ask? You always have to ask. That's just a rule. I made a mental note, a mental apology to my mother, rationalising she was just worrying over nothing. This is terrible. Alright, it seems everything is ready. We're moving out. I energetically motioned to the others, then exchanged hugs with my parents. God, when they said this is a short game, I know there are 5 chapters and we're already in 4 chapters, and this is the 5th part. Is he going to end once we're in Berry? Am I just going to get the knighthood and fuck off? I wonder. I promise I won't be gone for too long. I'll definitely be back in time for the harvest. Oh, just a couple mouths. Mouth? Just a couple months, it's fine. As we departed, my mum cupped her hands around her mouths. And remember, be sure to check every barrel, crate and chest in town. The residents don't mind if you find something useful. Mum, I'm pretty sure that's stealing. Speaking of which, teach your companion the concept of pay. We don't want them accidentally pilfering apples or the like. Oh gosh, that's right, I didn't even think about that. The concept of money. What was that study where they taught the concept of money to either monkeys or chimps, and the first thing they tried to buy was sex? I'm not sure whether that's true. There are many rumours which you hear about, and then all you have to do is Google it and see whether it's true or not. I think one of the ones is what's it? The advert from the Frosties advert in England. I'm not sure if this is an American thing as well, but there was a kid in it going, great! And apparently he killed himself because he was so embarrassed he was in it. But it's just bollocks! Like, it's not true at all. But the rumour spread around like wildfire. I only thought about it the other week, and I was like, I wonder if that's true, and it's not! Oh, well, whatever. Ilmari glanced at me curiously as we continued walking. Pay? Just don't take stuff, especially if it seems like it belongs to other people. But your mum just said don't mind what she said. And Kerr, you're too far ahead. Not a professional start, thanks Kerr. The merchant probably heard they didn't understand pay either, thank you family. We hadn't left the village and already my mind was swarming with too many worrisome thoughts about the journey. No, just focus on the mission, it'll run smoothly and everything will be fine once we reach Oliver. If we reach Oliver. If. I reached into the bag and touched the letter for comfort and to make sure it was still there. Feeling my confidence returning, I straightened my back and boldly gazed beyond the road. Finally my dreams will come to fruition! Put your faith in that. No, probably not. Going black? We're just going to arrive at Oliver? No, okay, we... Oh my god, it's kind of, like, come on, like, I know it's just like, oh, well, actually they progress in the forest, you know, the art is still exactly the same drawing. Look at it, colourblind there, rather detailed here and here, like, it's exactly the same thing. If this is any other thing other than a visual novel, someone would have just assumed that we have travelled about 2 meters. Oh, the journey so far had gone off without a hitch. Seconds had gone by. Like, you know? Oh dear. We were passing through a rockier area. No, we're not. With the forest pressing against us from both sides of the road, there was still much greenery and some trees were already showing the early signs of autumns with yellow leaved. Ilmari and I were ahead of the 2-horse carriage while Kerr was content with shadowing the vehicle. Since history and politics were never my forte, my brain strained to answer Ilmari's endless questions, but I would immediately perk up if they had anything to do with knights. So I've got a vague understanding of history. Yes, a knight. What a wonderful thing. Who's your leader? Don't mess with a knight and question me! That's the kind of knight I'm going to be. Unfortunately, this wasn't one of those times. So, this council, each town has a representative and they come together in Oliver to help govern. Pretty much, they do things like build bridges, schools and improve the agriculture. We have a similar system in between the wise dragons. Don't say that too loud. With a fucking random merchant. They use their knowledge of the past to help shape the future. Yes, I've heard of this. It's called Final Fantasy X-2 and it was a shit theory then. Hey, Maury, have you been picking up activity for the past hour or so? Maury. Like, sure, at least that could be a nickname, right? That's not necessarily him getting the name wrong. Ilmari, and yes, I have, but I wasn't sure if it should be brought up at all. I paused and touched my hilt and let my hand drop, lest it would reveal I was suspected something. Activity? I'm being followed. The two exchanged glances with Ilmari appearing more apologetic than Kerr. I'm sorry, I should have said something. You should have! And hang on a minute, like... I put my hand on my sword, but I took it off because I didn't want to reveal anything. We then openly discussed someone following us. Oh, Lord. I wish I had your hearing abilities, but still I feel so inattentive. I surveyed the forest, noting any jutting cliff sides if we were to be ambushed. How many? I don't know, 5 or 6? Do you think these followers have a malicious agenda? I didn't think Heavenkind would be the hostile type. Welcome to humans! Well, I wish I could say everything was peaceful, but disputes and fights still arise. There's always exceptions. Dragonkinds are generally harmonious. Again, they spell that with a U, but not honor. What? Whatever. But clashes still occur. Especially when dominant young males are expanding their territories and they happen to overlap, it can get quite intense and scary. Sure. Not speaking from experience or anything. Of course not, I never assumed... Did I try to want to, like, hit Ilmari? Whatever. Bah, weak. Wait. He stared hard at Ilmari and then his eyes widened in recognition. We have met! Kerr let out a boisterous laugh, clearly amused by the whole situation. Sorry about that, territorial instinct. Okay, so... they have actually met when he attacked Ilmari. Or Mori, as he calls him. That lake had a nice beach. I stepped between them before any more tension could arise. Tension. My yes, it looks like a fight was just about to break out. In fact, it was almost at climax. Sorry, did someone say sarcasm? No, I didn't hear any. I stepped between them for any blah. Can we save the border debate for another time? Right now, we have to focus on the people pursuing us. It's been happening for an hour. And only now they've decided, hang on a minute, should we, like, tell them? Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. I wish you told me sooner, but at least now we can anticipate any attacks. Let's keep it from the coachman, and our client will feign ignorance in the meantime, but hope nothing bad will come of this. Yeah, what a wonderful plan. Close your eyes and pretend it isn't there. I'd rather avoid a battle if possible. Realising we'd been standing around, we quickly resumed our march. As I adjusted the bag strap over my shoulder, I tried to glance discreetly into the woods. So he's going along on presumably some sort of wagon, and we're walking, we're marching, like, sure, point and tail, but do I really need to be marching? Oh, whatever. Did I just skip that? I think I did, didn't I? As I adjusted the bag strap over my shoulder, I tried to glance discreetly into the woods. Kerr, Ilmari, what's your fighting experience? He could probably take them out in dragon form. This body. Ilmari shook his head resolutely. No, I'm not doing anything like that. Moreover, I'm a Urius. I wouldn't do well on land. Urius? That doesn't even sound like water. Come on, try and get it right, damn you. I know some magic, so I can be a good support. Okay, so when we asked you, how are you good at fighting? What you meant to say is, I'm like a medic in TF2. I can't. I nodded, then looked at Kerr expectantly. That machine pistol does not count. It's like the worst weapon in the game. I'll be fine fighting directly. I highly doubt that. Like, I'm pretty sure you're going to be terrible fighting, considering... Oh, hang on a minute. You were granted power. You need a sword, first of all. I'm pretty sure you haven't got a sword. At the minute, you've got your fists. And you're not Snow from Final Fantasy, whatever it was, 13 or 14. I always get those fucking things confused. 13 or 14. Oh, God, what a terrible fighting system that was. Oh, just so bad. Oh, I'm going to hit him with my sword. I'm going to shoot him. I'm just going to, like, punch him slightly. Best boxer in the world, but no, I must fight for humanity. At least you can walk without any problems, and I have my sword along with some focusing techniques. Magic? I assume so. At least we were balanced enough, and my focusing techniques would help me in a fight in optimal condition. Optimal condition? We're in a fucking forest. Like, they could jump out of the trees for all we know. Ilmari's ears perked up and he shifted nervously while Kerr grit his teeth. There is going to be a fight. It was inevitable. They're moving swiftly. They're probably planning to launch an assault once we advance a little farther. I think they're positioning themselves by that outcrop. When we get there... He trailed off. I made my fist, biting my lip anxiously. Alright, they think they have the element of surprise. Prepare yourselves. Sounds more than 5 now. I could feel my stomach lurch as we neared the destination, and I already had my hand on my sword hilt. Calm down, a knight wouldn't be afraid. Wouldn't he, though? Wouldn't he? Wouldn't they? Wouldn't they? Wouldn't they, though? Like, really? I gulped and then childed myself mentally, shaking those thoughts from my head. I reminded myself that I was not a coward. Yes, but there are more than 5 of them. There are only 2 of us who can fight. I mentally concentrated on a spell that helped refresh and restore some vigour. Make up your mind whether you're going to put use in words which have them. Like, you can't do half and half. That's not how this works. That helped refresh and restore some vigour to my body. It would increase my strength temporarily. Ooh, that's rather... Why are we looking up? Once the outcrop loomed over us, there was a moment of uneasy stillness before a swift wind swept through the trees. Ah! What? Uh-oh. It's... people without eyes? If they're blind, this should be fairly easy. Especially if there's 4 of them. Like... I'm over here. No, I'm over here. I hope I brought slippers. A muscle-bound man landed directly on top of the carriage, shaking it violently and causing the horses to rear up. The coachman tried to settle them down as the attacker leapt on the vehicle, unsheathing his sword. I dashed over and directed his attention on me before he could rip off the door. Our weapons clashed and I clenched my teeth as I successfully pushed him away from the carriage. I could hear the scuffling of feet as more men emerged from the forest and my heart plummeted. We were outnumbered nearly 3 to 1. Okay, so there's 9 of them. No, nearly. Okay, so there's 8 of them. So anyone goes, sounds more like 5 now. He didn't mean just like, oh, they're going to get ambushed. Like, there's 8 of them. And they're blind. We should be fine. That was just the worst drawing of eyes I've ever seen. Not only that, all the attackers seemed too organised to be a mere bandit group. My opponent's sword fighting was refined and their outfits too proper. I don't know. I can only see one of them. Not to mention that they had followed us for some time, according to Kerr and Ilmari. Take that! I dodged one of his slashes and knocked him out with the blunt side of my sword. I did not want to resort to taking a life if I can help. Yeah, you're right, like... they attacked us, but don't worry, just knock them all out. There's never been anything wrong with that. I saw Kerr lunge forward and perform an awkward curled slap to one of the guy's faces like he was in a catfight. It looked painful, but it was not an effective strategy. Claws. He's used to battling with claws. That doesn't even look like he's slapping. Just punch him in the face. It was fine. I tried to approach Kerr, but was stopped by another foe. I parried just in time, but could feel the axe whistling past my arm. Kerr, punch them. Make a fist. What? The axeman swung again. I ducked and charged forward, bringing up my left hand. We should have done this before. We should have just asked, by the way, how do you fight? He's going to punch them all in the jaw. Do you realise how much that hurts? That really hurts. Oh, God. The axeman swung again, and I ducked and charged forward, bringing up my left hand. Like this. My fist contacted with my opponent's cheek, causing him to stumble back. Pain shot through my arm, and it took all my effort not to drop my sword and cradle my poor hand. Like that. Right. Kerr delivered a hearty punch. This time it sent the opponent flying. He glanced at his fist in bafflement and a smirk appeared on his lips. Not bad, I could get used to this. Okay, so Kerr's going to get us out of this. Awesome. As Kerr jumped into the fray... Water magic, forgot about that. I could hear Omari apologising loudly. A burst of water streamed forth from his hand, stopping someone who tried to run up to him. 4 down, 4 to go. 4 down. We've not one out with the blunt side. He's punched one. And I've uppercutted one. And he's knocked one down with water. What did he do? Break his leg? Alright. A few men that had gotten back up were now second-guessing themselves, while more stubborn ones tried a round 2. As I was engaged in another sword fight, I stepped back and felt my shoulders bump into someone. I glanced up at the heat of battle and spotted Kerr, who looked down at me. The heat of battle? That reminded me! I assure you the spell won't wear off of my clothes. It's just that I don't want to glance back during, I don't know, the heat of battle and catch you stark naked. What? Why would you remember this now? Of all the times to bring up him being naked, you choose to do it whilst we're being surrounded by 6 people.